Hello again and welcome back to John's Daytona build. This is video 2. In here, I'm kind of starting out in, I think, late April, catching up through mid-May. Lots of things done. I've got the pedal box in, brake lines done, got the Diff installed with a bunch of my friends from the Sacramento Factory Fire Builders Group, the rear suspension done, and the rear brakes. You'll see the engine on the hoist, various other things going on here. So, a lot packed into this video. Hope you enjoy it. Oh, it's a Sunday morning here in John's garage. We're just heading out into the garage, check a few things out. So, got the red wheels on the Jeep done down at Quicksilver. They did a fantastic, Devin and the team, fantastic job down there. And wanted to kind of show the progress of what I've done to this point. The first week we did the whole front suspension. Second week we did a whole bunch of sheet metal, a bunch of Clicos, which is mainly off the car now. And as I showed in that previous little clip, we mocked up the radiator. Got a bunch of aluminum over here. I've got aluminum in just about every spot I could find to put it in this garage. A lot of panels. Kind of been looking at what we need to do inside of the interior. But the most recent achievement was yesterday with the installation of the pedal box. This went pretty darn well. Had a bit of enlarging, hogging out some holes, had to rebend this bracket up here because it wasn't quite, it was about 95 degrees rather than 90, which threw off the alignment. So covered it in blue tape, stuck it in the vise, hit it with a piece of wood and a hammer, and got it to 90 degrees. And then, got everything in here. Had a lot of trouble trying to figure out how to screw these guys in. These guys here that come out of the master cylinders into these. It's just awkward, and I'm not sure I'm really approaching it right, but it's in there. The balance bar here between back and front, because it's two separate hydraulic systems basically. One for the front brakes, one for the rear. Basically got that figured out. Clutch goes here, so there's another master cylinder that will go here. I think I've got that figured out pretty much. But then got Mike Forte's throttle linkage for the Daytona, right? And the way I see this is, if the pedal's going to go down somewhere here where you push the brake pedal, then these two brackets here, or these two pieces of aluminum, I'm guessing, go either side of one of the aluminum walls. And I'm not sure if that feels substantial enough. Maybe it is. And then again, I don't know exactly where you mount this. Certainly would want to mount it to something substantial in there, and it looks, I guess, like it's going to go in here somewhere. Oh boy, and that's going to get in the way of where I was going to put the regulator, and the fuel line's coming out. So that's going to need some planning. And then, I'm going to be running the fuel lines, and all of that is next. Well, that's in the mix. So here's the Diff. I'm starting to look at how to install that. Went looking for the bolts, and guess what? They were on my back order list. Didn't realize that. So the installation of the whole back end is going to be delayed a bit. But I got plenty to do up in the front, so not a big deal. I think I'm going to leave this panel in here, just leave it in, because people have you got to bend it in this S shape to get it out, and people really struggle with that. And if I can avoid that, I will. Just leave it in during the build. And then yesterday, Todd and Ryan came over. They're part of the Sacramento Factory 5 Builders Group. And they brought me Travis's engine hoist, which is going to come into play here probably in a few months when we drop the engine in. So yeah, that was great. I think a bunch of people have used that hoist. It's been on loan for a while. The transmission's in here. I got a Tremec T56, and I put it on a dolly so I can move it around in the garage because I am not quite sure where to put everything. But yeah, things are coming together in general, starting to, I think, kind of get more comfortable with knowing what the heck I'm supposed to be doing with all this. But then every stage is sort of look at it, think about it, start it, look at it, think about it some more. And definitely this throttle linkage is a puzzle. And I feel like it's not something that I should deal with until the motor's in, to be honest, because I gotta know, okay, this connects up to the car, but I got I got this whole Weber setup. And worst case, I guess I can not use this and go with the cable, or always fit this afterwards once I get things in. Hey, I don't think this is anything too much to worry about in the big scheme of things. So anyway, that's the week 3 update. Okay, hi there. It is Saturday morning here. End of April in sunny Northern California. Great day here. Got a few of the guys coming over to help me put together or install the center section of my Diff. So yeah, I think it should be a good day here. I've turned this around, show you what's going on. Most importantly, we have donuts. And then down here, we've got the center section sitting there. Thing weighs, I don't know, 100 pounds or so. We got to get it up in here. So, got a few guys coming over to help with that. So they'll be rumbling up here in a little bit. Got to move my engine out of the way. That's obviously on wheels. Got Tremec in there. Gonna move that out. Got that sitting on a dolly. So should be able to move everything around. I've got the knuckles painted with POR or POR 15, a couple of coats of that on there. That came out reasonably well. Had to take a lot of stuff off. Got the hubs, got the old studs out and the new ones in. Screwed up the threads on a couple of the lug nuts, pulling them through, so I've got some additional lug nuts. Figured out what those are, the recorder -20s. And what else? Oh yeah, figuring out all different fittings I need for my fuel system, because that's the one area where I really didn't get a kit of supplies from people, so I have to figure out all the different fittings, which ends up meaning a lot of orders from Summit. So I've got this was on back order, so we've got the Trick Flow fuel filter, which takes 3/8 MPT fittings. So I've got another Summit order in right now for those. Got the Aeromotive regulator here, that's bypass, return, all of that, and these are various sizes of AN into here, all down to AN6, which is what I'm going to be running on the stainless PTFE stainless braided fuel, but that's for another day. Today is going to be about the Diff, and then shortly afterwards I've got the lower control arms, the the uppers, the lowers, the toe arms, the QA1 shocks, all of that pretty much ready to go. Got the bolts for the diff. So I've got a whole box of bolt stuff that came while I was out on vacation, which was the part that's allowed me to move forward to this part of the build, which was really why I was kind of stuck for a while. Got the CV, the half axles or whatever they're called in these two boxes. So once we get the center section in, then should be able to get the whole sort of rear end done. That's the plan. And then get the fuel tank and the whole fuel system in once that order from Summit comes, which I think is the end of next week. Got a piece of aluminum, 0.040 aluminum here. Gonna cut out a piece of that to put in the middle here. So you put a sheeting piece here, and then pop the 3/8 stainless line through there, connect it up to the regulator, etc. So that's what we got going on. The next little video will probably be the guys turning up in their cars, and then we'll shoot a little bit later on of the actual, hopefully, of things installed and all of that. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Thanks so much for your help. All right.
Well, we were over at Dave's.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Dave had a neighbor drive by on a bike.
God, sounds fantastic. See ya. Good afternoon. It's John here in the garage. It's late May. Is it late May? No, it's not late May. It's early mid-May. And we're working on brake lines in the back. Let me show you what we're up to. So what we have going on here is the rear brake lines coming in from somewhere around here, right, up to this center section. We've got a line that runs all the way forward into a connection into the brake rods, in the master cylinder, sorry. We got the diff in, QA1's on, Willwood's on, calipers, electronic parking brake, obviously the hubs, and you can see that I painted the spindles here in POR 15. I sprayed the CV here and here, and then the actual diff. I sprayed those with a clear coat, it's a Duplicolor kind of engine clear coat rattle can that's good up to a high temp. Sprayed those because I don't want those rusting. What else have we got going on? So, got some more tools down here. Got a 1/2-inch drive in socket set, which after wrenching on a bunch of big-ish bolts on the back, I'm realizing 1/2-inch drive is kind of the way to go. We got the front brakes. I think I've shown that previously, but what we've done here is connected into the AN3. This line, which we got from Gordon Levy, coming down to here with Teflon tape, which there's lots of debate on whether you do that. That is an NPT joint, right? National Pipe Thread, which is it's got its own sort of taper to it and friction and whatever, but the Willwood tells you absolutely must use tape, and we use this gas sober Teflon tape. I think it's 1/2 inch PTFE. It's, you know, gas proof, fluid proof. Starting to get the reservoirs out and ready to go. What we're going to do here, we've got one more of these on order because we need 3. And those are going to go kind of here, 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 following what Scott has done on his build, on the build thread. We got a piece of 1/2 inch by 1/8 aluminum that we'll drill through. We will riv nut this, kind of paint that then with, either give it to Ted to polish because he loves to polish aluminum, or I'm actually going to paint it in POR 15 top coat. You can see the other end of the master cylinders here. So we're going to be running the hose from here, from each of these. I'm going to take it through the hole where it's actually intended for the cable clutch, but since we're using a hydraulic clutch, that's a good spot to bring them through. We'll make up a piece of aluminum sheeting that will fit over those and rivet that to the existing aluminum so we can keep that nice and clean. I did actually put the wheels on, and lo and behold, they completely foul on the wheelwoods on the calipers. So I've got 1 inch spacers on order, which I think is what Edward B had spec'd on his build thread. So I'm going to put those on the back as well, even though the rear wheels do clear, but only just. I'm guessing the tires would probably rub here. And to keep, as Hank pointed out, to keep the track consistent front and back, I'm going to put 1 inch spacers front and back. I've still got my big torque wrench connected there because I got the last bolt put onto the stud. Ford had shorted me a bolt, so I put that one in and torqued it down the other night. So that is about where we're at. Hoping to get the brake line stuff done, get the reservoirs on, and then actually put some fluid in and, you know, do all the testing of the, put fluid in, bleed brakes. Never done that before. So I want to see, if I've got any leaks before I go any further. And I will probably then put the battery in, put the battery box in, and put the electronic parking brake harness in, and similarly test the electronic brakes. Then I'm going to be working on the whole gas tank, fuel filter, gas lines, regulator, that sort of thing. That's next. Okay, thank you. So that's it for now. Lots done there. I've done quite a bit since then, over the last week or two, which I will push up in another video in a week. So thank you for watching, and here's a couple of videos just to keep the motivation up for me. I watch these a lot. Some big ass Webers on a 302, followed by the same video racing around Le Mans, which I just love. So thank you.